What is up, you amazing people? It's Nima, and today we're going to review a game called They Know. But it's a rather short review, so I figured we would do more of a show-type format and talk about a few other topics as well. So I do have to ask you guys to do something for me, and that is please, in the comment section below, put your guilty pleasure and or your New Year's resolution. And we'll talk about those two topics later on, and we're also going to talk about my thoughts on the Prince of Persia demo and why I now have a massive dilemma coming next week. But first, let's talk about They Know. Now, I have to thank the publishers, Red Deer Games, for hooking me up with a code for this game, and genuinely just being cool whenever I ask for a code. And that's why this one kind of hurts, because I really wanted to like this game. In fact, just seeing the description of it, a stealth-type puzzle game where you're trying to get from point A to point B without getting caught, and it's about conspiracy theorists and conspiracies in general, as you're breaking into the Pentagon and taking pictures of things that they don't want to get out. Now, first off, I have to say, graphically speaking, the game does look pretty good. Although I will say they do not paint conspiracy theorists in the nicest of lights, as your character just looks, well, homeless, basically, with the tinfoil hat on his head, and walks very awkwardly. But, over the 6 levels, I will say that the environment pretty much stays the same, but it still has those decent graphics. It's clear, it's nothing to write home about, but it's fine. And I have to say, I really do actually like the concept behind it. I like the idea and the humor that's attached to it. It is one of those stealth puzzle type games where you're trying to get to a goal and get back, and every time that you move, the other characters also move as well. So you can basically walk right into a trap, or you can figure out a way to kind of cheat the system so that you don't get caught. Like walking into a wall where your character doesn't really move, but the enemies do. But as soon as you are spotted, you're caught, there's no fighting, and the level just restarts. Now, this game does cover 6 different levels, each one taking me about 5 minutes long, maybe. The only one that I really struggled on was level 4, and I think it took me about 2 or 3 times to get that one. And if I remember right, that is the level where they start to incorporate little things that you can hide inside, like a bush or a locker, things like that. And they incorporate that for the last 2 levels as well. But before you know it, the game's over. There's really no fanfare, no celebration, no, hey, you did a good job. It's just over. And like I said, I think that the game itself is kind of funny, and it has a decent direction, if you will, like a different idea for these, but it's just overwhelmingly short. And if I'm being honest, the game also gets redundant in those 6 levels. It feels like they're all pretty much the same. It's just a continuation of the first level. Ultimately, I have to say that I have to give this game a 4 out of 10, and even that, I feel like I'm giving it a little bit of a boost just because I like the idea behind it. I like some of the humor. If it didn't have that, I would probably be giving it a 2 out of 10. So unfortunately, this is a game that I would have to advise on passing and not picking up, because it's just not really worth it. But They Know wasn't the only game that I played recently. I did get my hands on the demo for Prince of Persia, and if you're curious, you can as well too. It's on the eShop, and it gives you about 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay, and it is, in my opinion, it's life-changing. Not major life-changing, but life-changing if you were thinking about passing on Prince of Persia. Now, many people don't know, but Prince of Persia is actually sort of a special game between me and my wife. You see, when we first started dating, I was really into playing games that I had kind of missed, almost like retro, games from previous decade or so. And so I was really big into PS2 games that I had missed or hadn't played, and one of them was Prince of Persia. So it was the first gift that she ever got me was that game, and so it just kind of has a special place in my heart, especially because I really loved those PS2 Prince of Persia games. That really helped as well. So even with that in mind, though, I did plan on passing on this one. It's $50, and if I'm being honest, I'm pretty hyped up for Choo Choo Charles. If you haven't heard of that, you should definitely check it out. It's about a possessed train, and there's a rail gun. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in that game. It looks really cool. Only $20. I'm very hyped for that one. But I figured that plus a few other games that I was going to be reviewing would be the only thing that I have to worry about. But now Prince of Persia has really caught me. This is a Metroidvania that I'm really enjoying. For instance, you know how you play a game and they have all of these crazy things for you to do, all these obstacles that are just really hard to overcome, but yet the game itself makes it feel like it's really easy? Like, you'll be staring down a whole bunch of obstacles and traps and spikes and all sorts of stuff ready to kill you, but the fluidity of the game and just the feel of the character makes this really achievable and almost easy. I'm not gonna say easy, but like, it's not as rough as you thought it would be. You're doing things that you really didn't think you could do with the character. It just feels that way with this game. I'm not saying that like it's impossible, it makes you a better gamer and all of that. It just makes these obstacles look difficult, but yet not enough to really slow you or stop you from getting further in the game. I just found like that to be really intriguing with it, as well as the combat. It's something that's like a hack and slash, yet a little bit of like a Souls-like in the fact that you really do need to watch your parrying and blocking and things of that nature. You can't just hack away at an enemy. There's a ton of things like that that I've noticed just in the first 20-30 minutes of this demo that I really liked. Not to mention the graphics. The game looks really cool. I like Sargon, who's the main character. I was a little worried because I was really attached to the prince, but I'm definitely cool with Sargon. I also like the way that he holds his swords, which is a little unorthodox. Just a lot of things about this game I'm very hyped for now, and I have to say, like, I wasn't expecting that, so kind of curious what your thoughts are. Are you interested in Prince of Persia? Have you checked out the demo? Is this a game that you are really gonna pass on or still gonna pass on? Anything and everything, I'd appreciate that. So why did I ask you guys about a guilty pleasure and New Year's resolution? Well, mine kind of tie into each other. Now, I do have one that I have to say is horrible, and that is Madden. That's my guilty pleasure. I play about an hour of Madden every night. I know I'm the worst. Like, I'm the reason they keep making those games, and they're really just updates. But I've decided that I really could be using that time better spent. And no, not like hanging out with my kids or something. No. Just other games I could be playing. And this ties into my New Year's resolution, as I've decided that I will not be purchasing any games that are on sale just because they're on sale. If I purchase a game that's on sale, I have to go through the backlog and either just decide that I'm not going to play a game, it's just not right for me, or I have to beat it. One of the two. You can't beat every game, and maybe not every game is for you, so you just kind of give up on it. But I'm not going to continue to just add to my backlog. I have got to make some changes in that regard, because that is my other guilty pleasure, is just going to the eShop and just looking around. And looking, like, anything that's on sale, oh, well, gotta get that. If you don't buy that, it's like you're losing money. I justify that all the time. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that and just ask you guys too, if you've made any New Year's resolutions, or if you have the same issue I do where you just kind of shop too much and there's no reason for it. Like, you have a million games to play. Hell, I've got work games, quote unquote, to review, and I'm still looking through the eShop and trying to find sales. Even though my backlog is full, I have games to review, and I have like games that I legitimately want to play and haven't beat, like Zelda. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting topic to talk about, because it's something I've decided for myself that I have got to change. I can't just keep adding to the backlog. It's almost sad, because there's so many games that I haven't played or I haven't fully experienced, and the backlog is almost so big that it becomes overwhelming, But anyway, I just thought I would bring that up and see what your guys' thoughts are, and if you're in that same boat, or if you're not, anything and everything. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. If you do like this format, let me know, because we might work some more episodes in that are more like this, that the review is pretty short, and we'll just talk about some other topics. But anyway, guys, take care. Love y'all. Bye-bye.